Hey, I'm Patrick, and welcome to Meditations on Being. I find myself speaking a little quiet, just naturally, because it's 12:40 in the morning. I was woken up by Spirit to the most beautiful sort of meditation. It's more like a download of understanding about where things stand in my life right now as I go through this process of spiritual development. And I felt the call to share, and so here I am. One thing that has been a challenge in my life that is a recurring theme, apparently, is physical pain, and in particular, physical pain in my stomach. So for almost as long as I can remember, I've had these periodic stomach aches where they seem to come and go in like a series of days where my stomach will just hurt very badly. And for years and years and years, like 30 years, it was undiagnosed what the issue was. And now I've had an endoscopy, and I know that I have a hiatal hernia, which is where your stomach doesn't close into the esophagus. And so the problem has apparently never been in my stomach, it's in my esophagus with acid reflux. And in recent times, I've had a very, so I guess 2021, I had a very bad episode of it that stayed around for like a year or two. Honestly, probably more. I'm probably getting my times wrong on this, and you'll have to forgive me because it's 12:45. But there was a period of over a year where my stomach hurt constantly, and I needed to be on a special diet and all this stuff. And I actually healed that stomach problem by setting the intention before every meal that I ate, just saying in my head that this food heals me, and also paying attention to my breathing. One of the issues that I found is that when I am really tense in my abs, in my stomach, I will notice more pain. And so paying attention to just in the moment where I notice that that I'm holding in pressure in my body, to just softly release it and let it go. And so I say that to say that one of the things that was coming up in my meditation just now is that I am having stomach issues again. And this was triggered by some deep breathing exercises, some meditations. But what I was made to understand is that this is on purpose. It's like time to revisit this kind of thing and learn how to heal myself a second time. And also to try to learn, or the goal is to learn self-compassion along with this, because that's something that I historically have struggled with. I think that I've definitely made steps recently in the last couple of years toward more self-compassion, more self-love, etc. But clearly I'm being shown that there's room for more growth and expansion in this. And as I say this, it's kind of funny, my stomach has stopped hurting as I've mentioned self-compassion, and I feel like a warm tingling going on. So yeah, very interesting. Things are progressing not as you would sort of expect. I've really been deepening my spiritual practices and understanding recently, and it's not just like not all positive feelings, which, kind of makes sense. It's something that I understand, like that it's not going to be all. One way to phrase it is that, like, I have to alchemize or be shown the ways in which I'm not free, the ways in which I'm hurting myself to some degree or another, and to be shown them in a way that is almost confrontational. This sounds negative, but here's the words that I'm getting. It's like to be shown it in a confrontational way so that you can have the final battle with the thing and then let it go for good. It's like once you kind of surrender to this process, as I have, there's things that come up that perhaps you wouldn't choose to deal with. I definitely wouldn't choose to deal with, but they come up in a way that sort of allows you to conquer them. And so that's just kind of a bit of a ride to be on, to go through these things that I want to be careful with my wording. I want to phrase this in a positive way. I have the tools now, or I know now that I have the tools that perhaps I've always had, that will allow me to overcome these challenges. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's kind of the gist of it. That's kind of the gist of what I wanted to get out. There was a lot more in the meditation, and I don't necessarily remember all of it right now. It was sort of like a waking dream. Maybe it'll be helpful if I close my eyes to describe more of it. It's like my body, or whatever I was consciously aware of. It's not like fully my body. Perhaps I wasn't paying attention to it. But it's like my thoughts have a physical feeling to them, and I was being shown things in kind of a visceral way where my body is part of the visualization, or a body. I don't know necessarily that it was my body, just perhaps that's a easy way to communicate, because we're used to having a body, so I have like a virtual body. Yeah. One of the other things that I was shown too was stuff about work. So things, I kind of hesitate to mention this because, someone from work could presumably find this, but I set the intention that they don't, and if they do, it's for good intentions. Well, only good things can happen to me if I just set that intention that only good things can happen to me. That's a very helpful pro tip for you. If you, no matter what circumstance comes up, if you make the assumption that something positive comes from it, that you learned something, or that this is here for a reason that you need to understand and recognize and deal with, then you can gain positive benefit from every situation. I guess that's kind of the exact way to phrase what I was talking about before. It's like this stomach ache is coming back to me, and this is I just have to know. Excuse me. I just have to know that this is for a positive reason. I will gain positive benefit out of this, and it's actually in my best interest to undergo this process right now, even though, intellectually, my old self, my 3D self, my physical mind would much rather I not experience stomach pain and all the things associated with that. But yeah, it's here for a reason. So what I wanted to mention about work is that it's not incredibly fulfilling, or at least what I would prefer to do is not this kind of work. Because I also still want to be careful in how I phrase things, because words have power. I don't want to say that, I don't want to frame it already that there's nothing beneficial that I can gain from my work, because that's not exactly what I said, but that's kind of the underlying assumption. And I want to challenge that, because obviously there's positive that you can receive from every situation. Yeah, my work is here for now as something to do, and this is sort of something that I rebelled strongly against. Something that I was rebelling strongly against during this meditation. It felt more like a vision. Vision it with understanding, and like something was explained to me. It's like, I'm here now for this. My physical mind is rebelling against the idea that this work is something that's good for me, and positive, and worth going through. I guess because as I just demonstrated, kind of have a definition that this is not like a spiritual thing, and I'm really just into the spiritual practices right now. But everything is a spiritual practice if you let it be. And that was kind of the message. It was, this is here for right now, and everything is a spiritual practice if you let it be, and so why not let this be? And the feeling that I'm getting with phrasing this out loud is one of limit, but the feeling that was there during the vision was one of like unlimited possibilities. And it was more so energetically than what I can plan mentally. I don't know if what I just said made sense, but it was like the energetics of this job are that there's a lot more stuff here to gain. Actually, and specifically, one of the things that this is a good training for, the work that I've been doing, is, or it can be a good training for if I allow it to be, which I plan to allow it to be now, is seeing the spiritual practice in every situation. Like, in what way can I bring my presence, my energetic presence, my focus on the current moment, seeing it as an exercise in what way I can bring all of that to something that I was previously had a mental image of how it should be, and that is like kind of not including those things. So yeah, later today when I am at work, that's gonna be my focus for sure, is how can I expand this focus that I've had recently on what something feels like, and like how to move through the world based on the energy that I feel about a given scenario. I'm going to be focusing later today on how to do that also at work. It's almost like my yawns are punctuating certain points and like placing these points kind of into my brain somehow. Yeah. I think that's all that I've got. It feels like the channeling, I've sort of been channeling these, or I have been channeling this message. I can tell because of how quickly and easily I've been talking. And I'm feeling like that's ending because I got sort of what I needed to get across, and now I feel like I'm kind of back to normal Patrick a little bit. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks. This is Meditations on Being. If you like this, you can give the video a like. If you disliked it, you can give it a dislike. Subscribe for more. And as always, you have my unconditional love. Thanks.